Betty was such a good singer.
It's true. Did she have any problem with her throat?
Yes, she had to be careful with her voice. Of course, she didn't follow the doctor's advice. If Don didn't insist, she... Well, it's too late for all that now.
So, 2 difficult puzzles, a clock puzzle and a gramophone puzzle that I couldn't do myself. I still didn't understand the musical notes. I am not able to read musical notes in real life. Maybe that's the problem here. There must have been a clue. I didn't see it. Anyway, there's a clue system in the game, so we can continue if we're stuck without looking on the internet for solutions. So what is our goal? My goal is still to solve things without clues. I should pay more attention. Continue questioning Megan. She's sitting there again.
It looks like this woman is single, but she has feelings for someone.
Who's in the picture then? Definitely Donald. She must have been in love with Donald.
She is looking so intensely at this photo. But is it really a sister that she's studying in this manner?
There's a question. What had Betty planned to do with her evening? We're still missing clues. Maybe we need to ask her some stuff.
They made the perfect couple, am I correct?
Yes, in a way. She was pretty and he...
Well?
He's a bright man, with a promising career ahead of him. He would have made Betty a good husband. He was always attentive and generous. Oh, a true gentleman.
I hear a note of envy in your voice.
You must have heard wrong.
Was Donald in love with Betty?
Donald appeared to be very much in love with your sister.
Yes, he was mad about her.
Mad, you say? Being madly in love can often be destructive, and Mr. Fraser was known for being jealous, I believe.
No more than average. Men are always slightly possessive, especially when they are with a pretty woman.
Let's ask her to cooperate.
I am not your enemy, Mademoiselle Bernard.
And you are not my friend either, Mr. Poirot, sir.
Yes, but your lies are not helping Mr. Fraser, or you for that matter.
Why are you protecting Fraser?
I know that Fraser was jealous, but I wonder why you feel the need to protect him.
Protect him? I hope you're not suggesting...
That you are Fraser's accomplice? There is nothing to suggest that, at least not yet. It would appear that your sister's murder is the second in a series that we have to stop as quickly as possible. The first was in Andover, and the same as your sister, the murderer sent me a letter informing me that a crime would be committed in that town. Now can I count on your honesty?
Yes, you have my confidence, Mr. Poirot. Don is a quiet and sensitive young man, slightly reserved too, and as is often the case with reserved people, when he flew into a temper, he completely lost control. He could be so violent. Betty was frightened.
And when was this?
The first time was about a year ago. But they rowed more recently. Donald found out that Betty had lied to him. She said she was going out with a girlfriend, but she went out for dinner with a married man. It was an awful scene. She told him that until they were married, she was free to go with whoever she pleased. Donald turned quite pale and started shaking and kept saying one day...
Well?
He'd commit murder.
What do you think?
So you were afraid that he would become our main suspect. I know that Fraser was jealous, but I wonder why you feel the need to protect him.
Exactly. Had you not told me about the case, I would never have dared to tell you about this little matter. Don loved Betty with all his heart. I can't imagine for one instant that he would hurt her.
Very good, Mademoiselle Barnard. Thank you for your help.
Fraser is at the Ginger Cat. The police haven't spoken to him, but they want to.
Très bien, Hastings. Let's see him now. Au revoir, mademoiselle. My deepest condolences to your parents.
Of course, Mr. Poirot. And don't be too hard on Don. He's more fragile than he looks.
If you say so. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Him with his little grey cells. Okay, what had Betty planned to do with her evening? Betty had probably planned to meet someone that evening. Betty used to go out a great deal. Betty was seeing other men as well as Donald's. Yes. There are a lot of visitors at time of the year. An unaccompanied guest came to the Ginger Cat and ordered a White Horse whiskey. The victim has marks on the neck. Betty lied to Donald about what she was planning to do the day before. I guess this one. No. What had Betty planned to do with her evening? Okay, let's... This one must be correct. Seeing other men. Definitely wrong. But he lied to Donald about what she was planning to do the day before. Okay, let's undo this. Because I'm... Oops. I'm at a loss here. Oh, wrong button again. What had Plenty planned? But he had probably planned to meet someone that evening. Yeah, that seems obvious. But he used to go out a great deal. Maybe. But he was seeing other men as well as Donald. Doesn't say much. A lot of visitors. An accompanied guest came to the Ginger Cat and ordered a White Horse whiskey. Maybe. Marks on the neck, but lied to Donald what she was planning to do the day before. Guess this one. But it's definitely wrong. Okay, so this is wrong. So there must be one other wrong over here. This one maybe? Finally. Betty lied to Donald because she had a date with another man. Did Betty know her assailant? Maybe.
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Again? Okay, so she was seduced by another man and then strangled. What is Megan Bernard's behavior hiding? Megan loved her sister. Not really. Megan is an intelligent woman. Megan really liked Donald Fraser. It seems to be the truth. Victim was pretty, but he was seeing other men as well as Donald. Megan kept looking at a photo of Donald and Betty. Megan is now the Bernard sole heir. Betty was a good singer. Maybe this? No. Megan has a soft spot for Donald. Did Megan Bernard have a motive for killing her sister? This? No. So we figured out those questions. There's a third one. Did Donald have a motive for Betty's murder? I think we need to find more clues. And we will find them by questioning Donald Fraser. What do we know about this Donald Fraser? Does it say anything? This is new, engaged to Donald Fraser. We already knew that. Megan, she works in London. She was jealous of her sister's beauty. She was very fond of her sister, although she did not approve of how she behaved towards Donald Fraser. And that's about it. Alright. Anything else?
Mr. Poirot, I don't like being stared at.
Okay. Hastings, do you have anything?
Hastings always pays more attention when young women are being questioned.
So do you, Poirot, you dirty sleazebag. Alright, let's go to the ginger cat again. Questioning Fraser.
You've seen Fraser, Hastings. What is your feeling?
He's a big chap. Fragile isn't exactly the word that springs to mind. I talked to his landlady before seeing him. She went to bed at 11. Fraser wasn't home yet.
Bien. Megan Barnard said he is a reserved character but with a nasty temper. We will see if this is the case.
Alright, so the game has become way more difficult than before, than the start of the game. The puzzles are more difficult. The little grey cells minigame stuff is getting more difficult. So that promises something for the next chapters, I guess. And we're not done with this one. And what do I think of the game up till now? I'm not sure. It's a pretty straightforward adventure game. Story not too captivating, but could get better. Maybe the writing could have been better. Alright.
Hastings appears.
Still the same stuff. Let's head in. Can we actually go? Okay. Controls are very awkward now and then, at least with the controller. Alright. Hastings, how are you doing?
Hastings looks ill at ease. He really doesn't like Fraser.
I was thinking of a very big man, but he doesn't look that big. Maybe he's a ruffian?
Hastings is bound to tell me what he thinks about Fraser later on. Now is not the right time.
What about you, Marion?
I don't want this young man here. Be quick and do what you must.
Do what I must. Alright, here we go. Let's check him out.
How do you do, Mr. Fraser?
You Hercule Poirot? Mr. Hastings said you wanted to speak to me.
Yes. I know that it may not be the right time, but I would like to ask you a few questions.
Suspect, Donald Fraser, about 30 years old in Bexhill. He's Betty Bernard's fiancé. He was jealous and had a quick temper. He doesn't look fragile to me. Is that the opposite of fragile? Let's inspect him.
This man looks suspicious.
He does, maybe. He's a drinker. Crumpled clothes. White Horse whiskey. Ooh, he drinks White Horse whiskey, like the one served by Betty.
Donald Fraser is in a terrible state, as if he hadn't slept all night. And he's drinking White Horse.
Leave me alone.
No, I still want to talk to you. There's a new clue there. He likes White Horse whiskey.
Tell me that it's a mistake. That Betty isn't dead.
Sadly, your lady friend has been murdered, Mr. Fraser.
Oh, Betty, if only you'd listened.
Did you see Betty?
Did you visit Betty yesterday afternoon?
No, I haven't seen Betty for 2 days. I was at the office yesterday afternoon.
Can you prove that?
Of course. But why this question? Betty died yesterday evening, didn't she?
What about the whiskey?
Yesterday, a guest came to the Ginger Cat alone and ordered a White Horse whiskey, and by the look of it, you also appear to be fond of this brand.
Yes, it's a good whiskey and not cheap. I only drink it on special occasions. Or tragic ones.
I understand. Do you know what Betty's plans were yesterday evening?
She said she was having dinner with her sister.
Why did you believe her?
And you believed her?
And why not, sir? She was my fiancée.
That did not stop her from lying to you before. Betty was not a bad girl, but she did like to take advantage of her success with men.
How dare you sully her memory?
We need to find a killer.
I am not interested in memories of her, Mr. Fraser. I am looking for a killer, and I need you to be my closest ally. That is, unless you have something to hide.
Of course I don't.
Très bien. So, what were we saying? Where were you yesterday evening?
I looked everywhere for her, but in vain. When she said she was going to have dinner with her sister on a weekday, I thought it was strange. I tried not to think about it, but I was like a lion in a cage. I was convinced she was lying. So I went round all the restaurants in the town. When I didn't find her, I went to the next town. But nothing. I must have got home about midnight or 1 o'clock.
Did anybody see you?
I don't think so. I didn't talk to anybody. I was so furious.
Ah, I knew I'd find you here, Poirot. I thought the victim's young man was here.
Yes, is all yours, Chief Inspector. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
That again. Stop saying that, it's so annoying. Did Donald have a motive for Betty's murder? Alright. There was a braided silk belt, doesn't give me anything. Betty used to go out a great deal. No. The victim has marks on her neck. 2 murders were premeditated and were carried out by the same murderer. Donald does not have an alibi. I think that's the truth. Donald was very much in love with Betty. Donald was a violent man. Okay, that was wrong. The alibi thing is wrong, I think. Or not. Wait, what? Did he have a motive? I thought I was doing it right, but I apparently not. He was much in love. That's not really a motive. He does not have an alibi. Okay, that must be one. No. Now I'm just guessing. He was a violent man. Weird. That wasn't very obvious, was it? Donald had a motive for killing Betty. Jealousy. Does Donald have an alibi? Donald may have been at the beach and have killed Betty. Does Donald have a motive for all the murders? Not really. We won a new trophy. We win a lot of new trophies. Look at that. 2 trophies, more ego points. So he could have been the killer, but he mustn't been. Because we need the ABC killer. Return to the crime scenes. Both of them? Can we talk to you some more? No, he doesn't want to. Talk to you. What are you doing? He's stuck again in limbo.
I don't want this young man here.
Yeah, alright. What about you, Hastings?
Hastings is bound to tell me.
Maybe talk to Jab? We can't. So okay. Going back to the murder scenes.